Hello everyone. So today we are going to be doing a presentation talking about what hearing instrument specialists do, how much they can earn, the training they need, what their day-to-day work looks like, the different career paths they can take, and the many places that they can work. As soon-to-be hearing instrument specialists, so I'm Amanda, and I will be talking about the hearing instrument specialist role and scope of practice. Patrick will be talking about the monetary expectations and skills/qualifications. Maxwell will be talking about the educational and career pathways, and Jasnoor will be talking about the daily work life as an HIS and the HIS program at Humber. To start off, we will be talking about the role of a hearing instrument specialist. I'm going to explain what being a hearing instrument specialist actually means, because most people have never heard of this career. So basically, an HIS works with adults who have hearing loss. We help figure out what level of hearing they have, and if hearing aids or other devices could make things easier for them. So, we do hearing tests, so we check how well someone can hear different sounds in speech. We do referrals, and if we spot something that looks like a medical issue, we send them to an audiologist or a doctor. We also do counseling, which is we help people and their families understand hearing loss and how to communicate better. We take a look in their ears, so we do something called otoscopy, where we make sure the ear canal and eardrum look nice and healthy. We also take these things called ear impressions, so if someone needs custom earpieces, we take molds of their ears. Also, some HISs also get trained to remove earwax, which is really cool. We do hearing aid fittings as well, so we choose the right devices for them, we program them and adjust everything so they're comfortable and it's actually helping them. And then we do something called follow-ups, which is where we clean and maintain the devices, we do minor repairs, and we make any changes as their hearing needs evolve. Overall, the job is about helping people stay connected to their friends, family, and just the world around them. It's really rewarding seeing someone hear clearly again, sometimes for the first time in years.
So I bet one of the biggest questions in your mind right now is how much does this pay? According to the Government of Canada Job Bank, the hourly wage for HIS in Ontario range from $17.60 to $39.71. Now, this can vary depending on the clinic, location, and your individual experience. Now, obviously, the pay goes up with experience, skill level, and the amount of responsibilities that you have. It's important to also compare salary versus hourly pay, as each side has its own pros and cons. For example, overtime pay versus sick days and paid vacation. Amplifon, a large chain clinic, has a job posting that they put up recently looking for a hearing practitioner. The salary range is $70,000 to $100,000 annually. Now, this posting does not represent all clinics across the province. And if we break that down into an 8-hour workday, it's approximately $33 to $48 per hour. What's nice about hearing clinics is that they run regular office hours, which are usually 8 to 4 p.m. or 9 to 5 p.m. Working for a chain clinic like Amplifon offers a lot of benefits, like helping you pay for your yearly fees as an HIS, and they can help with the tuition if you want to pursue audiology. And most clinics will have a benefits package for their clinicians. Outside of your base income, there are other things to consider. First is commissions, which allows you to earn a percentage of the sale that you make. Second is bonuses, which may be annual in the form of money or paid trips and rewards. And third is profit sharing. If the clinic or company does good, everyone gets a piece of the profit. Lastly, some clinics offer strong retirement pension plans, which gives incentive to work for the same place for a long time because they're investing in your retirement. These factors not only boost your take-home pay, but also improve how satisfied you are at your job. Almost every job posting for a clinic will look for the same qualifications. They're looking for your HIS diploma. Are you registered and in good standing with AHIP, which I will talk about more in the next few slides? Are you comfortable moving away from the GTA? Do you have any other certifications or clinical experiences? Do you speak any other languages? Clinics use a lot of technology and computers, so are you good with them? Now, employers place a strong emphasis on looking for someone with soft skills because we're going to be facing people all day, every day. These are communication skills, being able to multitask, working well in a stressful environment, critical thinking, and being a team player. In general, they're looking for someone who's professional and approachable. Before we get to the end goal of finding a job, let's take a look at the educational pathway, our blueprint to success from start to finish. First, you need to get your diploma from a school which offers the HIS program. You'll learn all the core skills and fundamentals, most likely from other experienced hearing practitioners. There are only 3 schools that offer this program in Ontario. George Brown College is a 3-year program, and 2 years in Humber Polytechnic and Conestoga College. After graduation, you'll be known as a hearing instrument dispenser. There is an internship that follows under supervision of an HIS or an audiologist. After that, you'll need to pass the ILE written exam, which shows that you have the knowledge to start practicing. And then, just make sure that you are registered with AHIP. AHIP is the Association of Hearing Instrument Practitioners of Ontario. They're a group of people that make sure that HIS in the province are practicing safely and competently. You may want to get other certifications such as wax removal or tinnitus management, but they are optional. Technology keeps changing and learning about hearing problems never stops, so you'll have to complete continuing education units every year to stay updated with new technology and best practices. And that's it for the educational pathway: diploma, hours, license exam, AHIP, then CEUs every year. And now I'm going to pass it on to Maxwell, who's going to explore all the different places we can work as HIS.
Thank you, Patrick. That was great. Here is a quick rundown of career pathways which I'll be going over with you. First in line, private clinics. In this model, appointments are usually longer and the focus is on relationship-based care with more comprehensive testing. This allows the clinicians to really get to know their patients and provide highly personalized service. In terms of pricing, private clinics typically fall in the mid to high range, and they often use bundled pricing, where the devices and services are packaged together. The roles in this setting include the full scope of practice, so testing, fitting, counseling, just like what Amanda have discussed earlier, so providing follow-ups as well. Depending on the clinic, you might also take on some administrative tasks like scheduling or ordering supplies. The outcome of working in a private clinic is that you have a lot more freedom in how you practice, the potential for higher earnings, and the opportunity to build strong, long-term relationships with your patients. Overall, it's a great environment if you value autonomy and building good connection with different patients. So, in private clinics, they use all 5 service delivery models. They handle diagnostics, counseling, follow-ups, technology training, and occasional collaboration with physicians or insurers. This is the pathway where you see the full scope of an HIS in action. Second in line, we have what's called chain clinics. In this model, the environment is typically high volume with structured protocols and often shorter appointments times. Everything is standardized to keep the workflow efficient and consistent across all locations. Pricing in chain clinics can vary widely. Some follow unbundled or discounted pricing models, which can make hearing aids more accessible for clients. The roles in this setting usually include performing hearing tests, providing follow-up care, and meeting sales goals or KPIs. There's a strong focus on both clinical work and performance metrics. Some examples of chain clinic are on the side, like Amplifon, Costco, Connect Hearing, and more. The outcome of working in a chain clinic includes a stable income, structured onboarding and training, and strong marketing support that helps bring in clients. Like Costco, for example, they have these memberships. It's a good environment if you prefer clear expectations and a fast-paced, organized workflow. These chain clinics also use almost all of the models. Diagnostics and fittings are high volume, counseling is shorter but still essential, and follow-ups are frequent. They use a lot of technology and training from manufacturers. Collaborations exist, but not as much as compared to hospitals. Now let's move on to working in an ENT or ear, nose, throat specialist clinic. So in this model, you're collaborating closely with doctors, often working with medically complex patients in a fast-paced environment. Because these settings focus on overall healthcare, and hearing is just one part of a larger medical picture. The roles are primarily diagnostic. You'll be doing a lot of hearing testing, and in some clinics, you may also assist with some product selection or fitting amplification. Most of the patients you'll see come through referrals from other healthcare providers, so you're typically working with cases that require medical oversight or further investigation. The outcome of working in this environment is that there's no sales responsibility. You gain strong skills in diagnostic testing, and you get to work closely with physicians and other specialists. It's a great fit for someone who enjoys clinical work without the sales component. So again, ENT clinics focus mainly on diagnostics and collaboration, so you work closely with ENTs and see more medically complex cases. There's some counseling and fitting, but less compared to private clinics, and follow-ups vary depending on the clinic. Next, let's talk about opportunities within hearing aid manufacturing companies. In this model, the focus is on providing product knowledge and technical support directly to clinicians and clinics. You work behind the scenes, assisting the clinicians who work directly with patients. The roles in this environment can include product sales to clinics, offering technical or audiology support, training clinic staff on new products and software, and handling client services like order processing or troubleshooting. It's a very collaborative role that connects you with many different clinics. The outcome of work in manufacturing is that you gain deep knowledge of modern technology and get to work alongside the innovators shaping the future of hearing care. Isn't that exciting? It's a career path that goes beyond patient care and focuses more on technology, education, and industry development. Take note that manufacturing is very different. There's no diagnostic testing and any counseling is only for training clinicians, as I said earlier. Their main model is technology and education, teaching clinics about devices and software. Collaboration happens with clinics, but not with patients. Now, let's take a look at the researchers or the research pathway. In this model, the focus is on testing new technology and conducting studies related to hearing healthcare. This could involve anything from examining new hearing aid features to studying trends in hearing loss across different populations. The roles in research include designing or assisting with studies, collecting data, analyzing results, and recruiting participants. It's a very structured, detail-oriented environment that relies heavily on accuracy and scientific method. The outcome of working in the research is that you get to contribute directly to innovation and evidence-based practice. There's no direct patient care, no sales responsibilities. Your impact comes from advancing knowledge and improving future technology. Research relies on technology and education and collaboration. There's no diagnostics, no counseling or follow-ups because you're not providing patient care just like manufacturing. You're testing new technology, gathering data, and working with academic or industry teams. Next, let's talk about the academia pathway. In this model, the focus is mainly on teaching and training future clinicians. You're helping students build their skills, understand hearing technology, and prepare for real-world practice. To work in academia, you typically need teaching experience and at least a bachelor's degree, with a master's degree often preferred. These roles can include being an instructor, a clinical educator in the lab, or even a professor. The outcome of working in academia is incredibly rewarding. You get to shape the next generation of hearing instrument specialists, and which was also personally highlighted by one of our professors. There's no sales responsibility, and you also stay up to date with every manufacturer and the latest technology because you teach it. In academia, the focus is on technology and education, as I said, as well as collaboration with other faculty and clinical partners. Diagnostics or counseling may be demonstrated in labs, but they're taught rather than practiced on real patients. Now, let's move on to working in a hospital setting. In this model, you're collaborating with a wide range of healthcare professionals. Hospitals use an interdisciplinary approach, so you're part of a much larger medical team supporting overall patient care. When it comes to pricing, hospitals rarely sell hearing aids directly. Any device pricing typically comes from partnered clinics outside the hospital. The roles in this environment are mainly diagnostic, so a bit similar to an ENT clinic, and you'll focus heavily on hearing testing, and in some cases, you may also assist with device selection or fittings. The outcome of working in a hospital is that there's no sales responsibility, and you get the chance to work with a large, diverse healthcare team. It's a great setting if you enjoy the medical side of hearing care and working closely with other specialists. So again, hospitals focus heavily on diagnostics and collaboration. You work closely with doctors, nurses, and or audiologists. Counseling and follow-ups are limited. Technology education varies depending on the role. Finally, let's talk about starting your own private clinic. In this model, everything is up to you. You choose how your clinic operates, whether you want longer appointments, walk-ins, or a mix of both. You design the workflow and the patient experience from the ground up. Pricing. Pricing is also entirely your decision. As the owner, you set the price of hearing aids and services based on your business model, your community, and the level of care you want to provide. The roles in this pathway go far beyond clinical work, as you will manage staffing, handle expenses and funding, take care of marketing, and work directly with manufacturers. You're not just the clinician, as you're also the business owner. It's just a lot of work, but you're the boss. The outcome is a lot of freedom and flexibility. You set your own schedule, create your own policies, and shape your clinic's culture, but it does come with a large upfront investment and a level of financial risk. So it's a classic case of risk versus reward. And since it's all up to you, a self-owned clinic can use all service delivery models, just like a private clinic. You decide how much time you spend on diagnostics, counseling, follow-ups, technology, and collaboration. And that is all for the career pathways. I know it's a lot of options and a lot of different directions you can take, but honestly, that's the great part. With so many pathways available, you're guaranteed not to get lost. Next, Jasnoor will be talking about daily work life as a hearing instrument specialist.
Hello everybody, this is Jasnoor here, and I'll be talking about the daily work life as a hearing instrument specialist. Over here is what we got of an example of a workday schedule. So we've got assess and evaluate. Here we do hearing tests. We look in the patient's ear and we give them the results of their testing and recommendations. We also counsel them on this. We then have fitting and orientation. Here we introduce hearing aids and show patients how hearing aids work and how they will benefit them. We also have walk-ins. Here we have patients that walk in that would like to have small things done or even quick hearing screenings done. So say a patient has trouble with their hearing aids connecting to apps or accessories, we just troubleshoot for them and help them. Or if they have problems with their domes or receivers, we can provide help for them. We've also got our lunch break for 30 minutes or an hour. We've also got assess, evaluate again, and we also got follow-up. So once patient receives hearing aids and amplification, we 100% want to see a follow-up so we can see how the patient is doing with their amplification and see how they are liking it. We can also assess the concerns they have and the positives that they have to tell us about. We also have another walk-in that can be happening and more fitting and orientations. And at the end of the day, we have cleaning prep, and this is just cleaning up what we have done for the day, making sure everything is back and organized to where it should be. And we should prepare for the next day, looking at the schedule and seeing how the day will look like for the next day. These can vary, as assess and value is 8:30 to 9:30. It can be later on into the day, and fitting and orientation can be the first thing in the morning. It just varies from appointment to appointment. Next, we've got studying the Hearing Instrument Specialist program at Humber. So here in the first year, we've got principles of audiometry. Here we just get introduced to audiometers and how the clinic works, and just hearing testing in general. Next, we've got principles of hearing devices. This is an introduction to hearing aids and how they work, the different parts of it, and how they help patients. Next, we've got hearing device verification. Over here, we want to make sure that the hearing aids are working and helping the patient as they should be, just verifying that the hearing aids are doing what they should. Next, we've got anatomy and physiology. Here, we've got how the ear works inside. So we've got the middle ear, the inner ear, and the outer ear. It's kind of like the biology of the ear, and it's very interesting. Next, we've got acoustics and psychoacoustics. Over here, we have the kind of calculations part. So looking at decibels, hertz, some calculations, wavelengths. We've got clinical theory 1, and we've also got psychology and counseling. So in clinical theory 1, we look at the practices of hearing instrument specialists, how the field works, and how everything works with different organizations. With counseling, this is just counseling the patient on their needs and realistic expectations. In the second year, we've got hearing device troubleshooting. This is just more of looking at hearing aids and troubleshooting with them, figuring out what's wrong and fixing it from there. Next, we've got hearing disorders. This is just looking at hearing disorders that patients might come in with and putting things together. Next, we've got HIS employment advocacy. Here, we look at building resumes, connections, how to look out in interviews, and just the different type of clinic settings that the field has to offer. Next, we've got clinical theory 2. This just jumps more into the practice of hearing instrument specialists and looks at the complications that might happen in the industry as well, along with third-party forms and form fillings. Next, we've got marketing and business. This is the marketing side of the industry. And we also got manufacturer seminars and emerging tech. We've also got interprofessional collab and the professional practicum, which is the in-clinic setting. And over here on this side is the information that you would need if you were looking to be in the program. So if you're interested, you can call this number. We've also got a website right here, and we also got an email to one of our professors, and that is the address of the Humber College.
We appreciate you taking the time to listen to us talk about this career. And if you are looking for a promising career where you can help others with the use of technology, then definitely consider entering this program. We hope that this presentation gives you a better idea of what HIS do, where you can work, and the many opportunities available beyond the diploma. Thanks.